Speaking of the state of Kansas, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up with one of their teams. Kansas State takes on Oklahoma State. Joe, I'm not the guy that wants to come in here and tell you I told you so. I'm not. But I gotta start this segment off by telling you I told you so. Are you ready? Avery Johnson is not good at throwing the football consistently enough to where they can win this conference. I'm going to continue to say it. Now, I'm going to double down on what I just said by saying this. I think Colin Klein walking out that door is a bigger deal than people are understanding right now with Kansas State. They got blown out by BYU. BYU did nothing special other than turn the ball over. Avery Johnson last week, Joe, was 15 of 28, 130 yards and 2 turnovers. He's not a good thrower of the football.
Okay.
And I think that we have seen Oklahoma State, even though they got I don't know if Kansas State can bully Oklahoma State the way that Utah did and Arkansas
I disagree.
Did. Maybe they can. But if you get in a situation where Avery Johnson's got to throw the football around, you're in trouble.
I think last week's enough, and also Arkansas, is enough proof that teams with dynamic quarterbacks, athletic quarterbacks, and really good rushing attacks against this Oklahoma State defense are going to find success. This Oklahoma State defense, which I said in the offseason why I wasn't in on them, didn't improve at all. It is the same. Nick Martin has been phenomenal, but they have all of the same problems that they had last season. They are allowing 180 yards per game on the ground. 180. They're getting cooked. They're getting pushed around on the ground. Right now, so far this season, I understand that Avery Johnson had a little bit of a very rough go against BYU. He's got to be better. He's got to make smarter decisions. They were in just a really sloppy end of the first half that really killed them, and then they were playing from behind. Not a good game for Kansas State. But they're averaging right now 6.5 yards per carry, 248 rush yards per game. They're running all over teams. They are stepping into a situation where we saw Isaac Wilson turn the ball over multiple times and produce on the ground.
Yes.
I feel very confident about this. And maybe it bites me in the ass, but dude, this has happened multiple times in a row where we have seen Oklahoma State get bullied against rushing attacks that are very, very dominant. DJ Giddens and Avery Johnson, if they are in a good rhythm, I think that they have success in this game and they're able to win it. Johnson could turn the ball over and they can still produce and put points up on the board. Utah can do it.
Here's what I would say to that, though. Like Arkansas made mistakes, Kansas State's making mistakes too. And it's not missed on me. Joe.
Yeah, but Utah made mistakes and they managed to succeed and win last week.
The same mistakes. Because even though they had
Isaac Wilson threw 2 interceptions. It's the same stat line. It's same exact stat line as Avery Johnson.
No, he didn't. He had a touchdown in there too.
He still turned the ball over twice.
Fair.
Back-breaking interceptions that could have swayed the game.
Fair. They don't have that defense. They don't. And I'll be real with you. Michael Bernard is a dog. And I don't care. I think that
DJ Giddens is a great running back as well.
I'm not saying he's not, but Joe, they were 8 of 17 on third down last week against BYU. Here's the truth. I think they're missing Colin Klein, brother. Their third down play calling is abysmal. They're 0 for 3 on fourth down last week. I'm telling you, man, listen, do I think that I was wrong on Oklahoma State? Yes. Do I think that we have seen them be fraudulent in many areas? Yes. I agree with you on that. The problem that I'm having is when I look at that, you going 8 of 17 on third down, 0 for 3 on fourth down, and BYU's pushing you around. Joe, I think we think of Kansas State and we think of the physicality that the teams before have had. I know that they've been somewhat successful in the running game. However, there's a reason that they're having to throw the football the way that they are. It's because on these critical third down runs, they are constantly getting stuffed. And you're right. Oklahoma State got pushed around by Arkansas and Utah. Here's the truth. Kansas State, in that front on that offensive line, is neither one of those two teams. And that's where I have massive pause. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. I don't.
Yes, it does, because it's the same damn thing that you're saying.
No, okay, but look. Kansas State is going to find success on the ground. Oklahoma State is one of the teams.
Why do we argue so much over Big 12 football? I knew this was going to happen.
Hey, this is the most exciting conference that we've had this year. The Big 12 has been fun. It's been freaking fun. It's chaotic as shit, and I love it. We know who the good teams in the other conferences are.
Every week on the Big 12.
The ACC is boring. Nothing fun happens in the ACC. Florida State's garbage. The Big 12. I don't know who's going to win this conference.
Put some stock in Clemson. By the way, Dabo told you last year.
Okay. Look, here's another key important thing that comes into this for me. Not only am I putting a lot of faith in Kansas State's rushing attack to control the time of possession and to win them the ball game. Kansas State, where I'm fearful, Kansas State's secondary has been very porous and they've had a ton of issues. But right now, Oklahoma State, no. Oklahoma State has been having a ton of issues running the football. Teams are loading up the box. They're not giving him room to run. Right now, they're averaging 3.3 yards per carry, which is terrible. Kansas State's averaging 2.2 yards per carry. And they've gone up against teams that have good rushing attacks that they've been able to step up and be stout. This is not like Ole Miss in the schedule that they've played. They've played BYU. They've played Arizona. They have had a couple of tests on their schedule. Tulane has a good rushing attack, and they've only allowed 2.2 yards per carry. I think that that's pretty telling. This game's going to be won in the trenches. You know, Alan Bowman could end up having a 350-yard day against that secondary, but to me, that doesn't matter if you can't run the football and you're getting your ass run over by Kansas State's rushing attack.
But I agree with that. I think Oklahoma State's been fraudulent. I had high hopes for them. But it's about the time that Gundy starts getting shit rolling.
Look,
Joe, they did it. Here's the thing. Can I tell you the thing that I'm very nervous about with Mike Gundy and this Oklahoma State team?
What?
They came off a loss against South Alabama and then rattled off 7 of the next 8 wins.
Well, okay. Here's in line with that. What my issue has been with Oklahoma State, and this is going to probably bother Oklahoma State fans for some reason think I hate them. I'm just trying to be realistic.
Dude, I heard you hate this.
No, that's not. I was all in on y'all last year. I love Ollie Gordon, but like we're trying to be real here. But Oklahoma State is one of the most experienced teams in the country coming back this year.
Not playing like it.
Well, that's my whole point. When you bring back most of your starters, and they've played this inconsistently up until this point, that means that all the guys you brought back weren't great to begin with. And I think that's concerning for the remaining stretch of this year. I think that they caught their schedule last year. They caught a lot of mediocre teams and they thrived off of it. And they got the huge win against Oklahoma and their stock rose a lot higher than we thought they were.
I will say this, their schedule after this gets a little mediocre too. Joe, if they get this win, here's the thing that I'd say about Oklahoma State. Joe, what do we make of Arkansas right now? Like, let me ask you a Scott John's question. What do we make of them?
They're average.
Okay, so they're about an 8-4 team, right?
7-5, 6-6, 7-5. If everything goes according to plan. 6-6. 6-6. That's why I said average. 6-6.
Oh man, I don't know.
I might be generous.
Okay. What do we make of Utah? We put them as
best team in the conference with an injured
and they were in a dogfight with both of them. I think Arkansas is a little bit better than you're giving them credit for. Here's what I'd say: if they find a way to win this game, Joe, there's going to be a rematch, Utah-Oklahoma State, because I don't. Maybe UCF can get in the mix here. You know, we had Pate on this week, and he's really high on UCF. Maybe they get into the mix. I don't know, but we'll see, man. Big 12 going to start shaking out pretty early here.
Utah wins if they play a second time.
Quick Big 12 talk. Are you as high on UCF as Josh Pate was on our show the other day?
I am going to be completely honest. I have not gotten. I don't have enough of it in opinion. Joe, I always admit when I don't.
Dude, I know that people were making fun of KJ week 1 for what it's worth. dude, they run the ball all over the place.
They got a really diverse backfield,
man. If they go into Florida and win, Joe, if they go into Florida and win,
they got some juice. That's
what she said.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.